Good morning, George Richardson here, one of the owners of Richardson Farm, and what we're up here today is to view the actual cutting out of our world's largest corn maze. I brought a picture along with me. This is a tribute to Star Trek. This is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. Believe it or not, 1966 is when that first television series started, and this is their 50th year. So this summer, I think, this is July, right around July 22nd, I think, is the release date from Paramount Industries of the new Star Trek movie. So be watching for that in your theaters. And anyhow, we got the rights from CBS to use their 50th anniversary logo. CBS owns Paramount, which is making the movie. And I think it's going to be just a fantastic design. Leonard Nimoy here as Dr. Spock, William Shatner as Captain Kirk, and a couple other things, the Starship Enterprise kind of filling out the picture up there. Now, right now, Sean Stallworthy is our maze designer who designs the picture with us, and he actually comes down here from Idaho making this giant trip. I don't know, can we go over and look at his tractor out there as he's cutting out the maze? He has a GPS mounted right on his tractor, and that's hooked in with his computer inside the cab with him. And basically he's driving through the fields of corn and driving so that the GPS locator dot follows the lines of the trail on his computer screen. Now, he's got some custom software, very highly sophisticated, so that he can zoom in the picture and really detail down to within inches of where the pattern needs to be. But some of the larger areas you can see the star. What am I seeing? I see an R. I see an A. I don't think we have the S and the T. I think that's what he's working on right now, is the S and the T of star, because I can see the AR and then the central logo. He's obviously got quite a bit more work ahead of him to do yet. Some planets up in the space and some asteroids and things like that. It's just fascinating to watch him laying out that design. He's so accurate with it. This is our 16th year running the corn maze. And, of course, our designs were much simpler in our earlier years. Now, we've gotten more sophisticated. We've changed our styles a little bit. And we've gone to designing, because everybody's worried, like, oh, what if I get lost out there because it's so large? And it is very large. But we designed the mazes with no dead ends in them. So, and then this giant 50-foot tall tower that we're standing on is, of course, right at the very entrance to the corn maze. You can see it from miles around. So if you just head toward the tower, there's no dead ends. You can always get your way out of that. And then there are 3 wooden bridges that are 8 feet high that bridge between the sections of the maze. Maybe we'll just, he's going to be getting the one very soon. Right down here, that little rectangle is a wooden bridge that bridges from the yellow maze there up into the upper maze. Now, this maze is designed with a checkpoint system. Maybe you notice the little red dots around there on the map. Because it's so large and because there are no dead ends in it, well, you have to solve the maze somehow. So it's not like a rat maze where there's one way in and one way out, which is the other reason why you won't get lost. Oh, and we've never lost anybody yet. Let's put that on record. At least not permanently. Oh, take to cut the maze. Sean came, of course, he's on this whirlwind trip all across the United States. He came on a Saturday around 2 o'clock, and he went right out with 2 tractors and did almost half of the maze from about 3 p.m. till about 9 p.m. at night. And now today he started up again, probably started around 5 or 6 a.m., and I'm guessing from the looks of it, he will probably finish by today in good time, and he may rush out of here and go on to his next maze. All in all, it's probably going to take around 20 hours of tractor time rototilling those trails to make that design. right today. As soon as he's done, I hope to get our crew of boys out there. We will put in our checkpoint posts. I think I started talking about the checkpoints. Everybody gets a map like the one that I showed you. The checkpoints are labeled on the map. Your task is to keep track of which trail you're walking onto that will lead you to that little dot. And then the checkpoint has a paper punch on it with a map of where you are, just to confirm that that's what you found. And you make a little paper punch on your map that says, I got here, I proved I found it. And if you get 20 out of the 24 checkpoints, you earn a priceless, full-color, glossy certificate of completion that people are very, very proud to own. Now, this design, I think, all in all, is going to have around 9.5 miles of trails that make up the design. But don't let that scare you either. A person walks about a fourth of the mileage to solve the mazes. Unless, of course, you're hopelessly lost and you're just going around and around in circles, then all bets are off then. But generally, you would walk maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles at the most to get 20 of your checkpoints to earn that priceless certificate. And so, yeah, about 20 hours it's going to take rototilling that design in there. Today and tomorrow, our crew of boys that we have working for us will set those, drill the checkpoint posts in there, get those all set, some directional signage. Over here in the lower section, we've got the Richardson Farm spelled out on a planet, and we're going to have quiz questions, a quiz trail set through there. So we'll have question posts A through H, and then you can pick up a piece of paper at the entrance, real cute little questions. Some will have a corn theme, some will have a Star Trek theme, sports. When you get to question post A, you answer the question, and it even tells you if you got the right answer or not. And it tells you to go left, right, or straight ahead and navigate yourself through those first 6 checkpoints of the maze. And it's very fun, entertaining questions. So we'll drill in all of those posts. We pick up our bridges. The bridges are down here outside of our pavilion, picnic pavilion. Large wooden structures with a nice sturdy stairs on them and a guardrail. And we'll pick those up with a loader, a forklift, carry them out through the trails, we'll set them carefully in place. And then when all of that's done, hopefully within 2 or 3 days, my wife Wendy will rototill the maze all again and make the trail slightly wider, slightly smoother than Sean is doing, because, I mean, he's in a hurry, he's going quickly, so he's not rototilling the earth, perfectly smooth. So we'll rototill it all again with our tractor, really smooth out the trails and make that final design after all the checkpoints are in.
How many years have you been doing the corn maze?
This is our 16th year. And it's interesting that when we first decided to go into this business, well, we were raising pigs, my brother and I. And pigs were okay business, it was nice. But after we started Christmas trees and installing Christmas trees, and we're like, I love this business. We love people. We love people coming to the farm and having fun. And it was more regular than the pig business. So, because that's all ups and downs. So we decided to, get out of pigs and go into the corn maze and still continue to grow you cut your own Christmas trees. That was 16 years ago. This will be our 16th year in it. And we had gone to a seminar on corn mazes and layout and design. And Sean Stallworthy had done one the year before on his farm up in Idaho and decided to get into the designing, cutting out business. And we met him there. Nice guy. It's like, come on down and do ours. So our first corn maze, we decided we'll just try for the world's largest, whatever that was. And so it was 18 acres with, I think, around 9 miles of trails in it. And back in the old days, Sean wore a GPS in his big backpack unit with a battery, probably weighed 50, 60 pounds, and he'd stare at his laptop computer and walk the path. And then my brother and I had the job of taking a spray can of paint and marking the ground behind his left heel as we walked out all of those designs. And then we followed the paint line to rototill out the maze trail. So it was really interesting in the first. And then, as GPS got more sophisticated, Sean got his system figured out. Now it's very simple the way he just, simple for us because we just watch. But just lays it all out, driving his tractor, staring at his computer screen. Yeah, he doesn't even look up where he goes. Sometimes he works until 2 a.m. Because he doesn't have to see anything. He doesn't even use his headlights. All he does is stare at the computer screen. He knows he's in a cornfield with nothing to run into, and he just goes. So it's really fun to watch the design taking shape for us. I'm really proud of this design this year. Let's see. We've had, it's very dry right now up here. We've had just about a half an inch of rain last week, but our corn is not really showing severe stress. We've got 16 acres of pumpkins. They are looking beautiful this year, and all the crops seem to be growing real well. Kind of staring off toward the edge, just past the edge of our corn maze. We used to have pumpkins down there, but you like to rotate your fields with different crops now and then. So that is a soybean field just beyond the edge of the corn maze. And then many of you notice, maybe you can see the lake off in the distance there with some excavators. And I sent out a farm email newsletter about this a couple of months ago. We sold the rights to the gravel on just a portion of our farm. We did not sell the land at all. We're just selling the gravel, and we get paid for every cubic yard that they extract from our farm. And they finished some of the areas. Those fields have been laid down and smoothed again. Maybe where you're looking right now, you can see just a small lake in the foreground. There's a very large lake in the background. That is actually a field that the gravel pit owns, and that's their own private lake. In the foreground, there's you can see just a little tiny pond there, and that field is finished. We've got a late planted crop of soybeans, so it looks mostly like bare dirt. As they get done with one area, they will lay the topsoil down and reclaim that area. And
when does the maze open?
We open, I think it's September 3rd this year, Labor Day weekend. That's Saturday. We're open through the months of September and October. And then I don't remember the exact closing date, but it would be that last Sunday in October. As they're mining the gravel, when the gravel, now McHenry County is highly glaciated. The last glaciers left this area about 13,000 years ago, and they're grinding up rock, and as the glaciers are pushing down here, and the ice was probably a half mile thick above us. They've chewed up this rock, and then as the glaciers melt, they recede and they deposit whatever rock they were chewing up. And so McHenry County has a lot of this very rounded stones. It's not like a sharp, angular limestone that you get out of different quarries, mostly down south. And so we're kind of famous for that rounded stone. It's very good for asphalt in particular, and different types of concrete, building I-94 and a lot of the buildings through Chicago. This man in the gravel business, his dad knew my dad, and my dad was milking cows, and Vern Thielen, who started the business, his farm was just over here, a little bit rockier soil, and he had this gravel bank, and he found out that people would pay him to shovel some gravel into his old wagon that he pulled with the horses, pull it over to their farm and shovel the gravel out, and then he got paid for that. And he was like, and I still own the farm. So he told my dad that gravel business was great because you could sell the product but still own the land, and then put your topsoil back down and still have it to farm. So now where they're farming now, where they're digging the gravel now off in the distance, that gravel goes about 25 feet into the groundwater. And so as he scoops way down, digs up that gravel, runs it by conveyors out of here, we'll be left with, we think, about a 40-acre lake. And so possibly in the future, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I don't know, we may have a summertime business with canoes and paddle boats and fishing and possibly the world's largest slip and slide. I don't know. So I think maybe we'll head out to the field and see if we can find Sean. Maybe get a picture of him up close. We built this tower in 2007. We thought the world's largest corn maze needed a great big tall observation tower right at the entrance so people could see part of the design and wave to their friends. And then a year later we added the zip line off of this, which makes a fantastic launching point for zip lines. This cable is about 750 feet long and lands down to a landing down there. And it's a very popular activity with people. Extra charge for that, of course, $15, but it's a very fun thing to do. And it's not too many zip lines right in the Chicago area that are like this. So summertime, of course, you can see some boys shoveling, some boys working on some different things, and we're keeping the grass in shape and keep everything up year-round pretty much. The 30-foot deck is the zip line takeoff point. That's, of course, a locked panel so nobody gets out to the platform accidentally. Certified, inspected by the state of Illinois as an amusement. So we don't take that lightly. Certified, trained operators that send you there. And so it's quite safe, but quite thrilling at the same time. If you're up on the tower, which everyone is welcome to come up the tower, whether you're zip lining or not, you may notice that it sways, particularly on a windy day like this. And yes, it does. It was built as a wooden structure to be very flexible. And so particularly with people going up and down on it, you'll just feel it moving, and then some people feel unsettled by that. And they're like, hey, this thing is not solid. But I assure you it's very solid, designed by an engineer, architect. It's been a wonderful structure. And people really enjoy just getting up to see a view of what's going on. Well, we're going to head out. I think Sean is maybe in the S of Star Trek. So we'll head up this giant trail up here, take us into the bottom of the 0 and 50, and then we'll wiggle our way over through the A, the R and the A and the T and see if we can find Sean. Now, if you look down at the ground a little bit, you'll see the corn stalks that have been chewed up and it's kind of laying there. These will dry up over the next few days, and then when Wendy rototills it again with her tractor, it will chew all this up finer into finer shreds. It actually makes good tilth for the soil, and she'll smooth out all of these tracks that the boys have made. They're bringing the loader in here and drilling all those posts in for the checkpoints. So this will all be cleaned up and smooth, and then if we can ever get a couple of rains, this will be a nice, hard-packed, smooth trail for everybody to come out and visit us on. So working our way up the giant. Are you tired yet? No, we're still making it. Nice warm day today, but not too bad. What are we, about 80 degrees? Light overcast, that helps a lot. The corn is, I don't know if you've heard before, but we plant the field. Now, a typical corn field has about 32,000 plants per acre in 30-inch rows. And let's see, get my bearings here. We'll take the second left. Yes, because the first left goes down into the asteroid. Head up into, we should see something that looks like a line that goes around a zero. Boy, I hope all of his lines are in yet. They're not. Does that go down to an asteroid? I hope I don't get lost out here. That's going to be really embarrassing. Oh, I can still see the tower, so I think we're going to get out. This is pretty risky.
How tall does the corn get?
Oh, the corn will get about 9 feet tall, depending on how much rain it gets right now. So as I try to find my way through these incomplete trails, the corn, we plant the corn north, south, and east, west. That must be the point. All of this corn will be rototilled out. He's set the perimeter of the giant, that's the Delta logo of Star Trek, and he's got that perimeter set. And then this corn will be rototilled clean out of there to make this open space of the Delta logo. So it's not real strong yet. So we plant the corn north, south, east, west, 20,000 plants each direction, for a total stand of about 40,000 plants per acre, more dense than a standard cornfield. And if we were growing corn, that wouldn't be good for the plants because they would be too crowded with each other. Does this look like an R? I think this looks like the leg of R in star. So the reason our corn can be that dense is because it's a sterile corn. As it grows up taller, probably within a few weeks, it will start tasseling on the top. But the tassels, which has the pollen, is sterile. And it can't fertilize the silks of the ears. Some wild pollen will blow in from other parts of the farm, surrounding areas, and pollinate just a few of the silks. So if you looked at an ear of corn in season here, you see that it's light and fluffy, practically no kernels on it, just a cob with the husk over it. And you can see Sean zipping along. He's probably going 3, 4, 5 miles an hour when he's cutting out his trails, which, you know, he's in a hurry. I'm guessing this is going to be a trail, but I'm not sure. So we'll step through this. Now, when Wendy rototills it all again with our tractor, she's probably going to go about 2 miles an hour and go over it a couple of times, and chew all this up nice and fine. We're in a dead end here. Was that the beginnings of an S? I lost track, to tell you the truth. We're going to sneak through the corn. Don't do this at home, folks, or when you get here. And we'll see if we can get close to Sean. And there he goes. Beautiful little tractor, just hums along. Just staring at his computer. Nice little cabin there. Our tractor is quite similar to that, just a slightly larger, with a cab and air conditioning and the music. So, you know, it's not a bad job, although after a few hours it becomes work. but it's the type of work that we enjoy. And everything about this adventure we're on, we love. We love having people come and have fun. It seems like almost everybody's in a really good mood. They're coming to have fun, and we enjoy helping them have fun. So we just had our 4th of July parade, and made up a big float of the Starship Enterprise with music and fog going out the thrusters, and anyhow, we are picking out the music for the float and things like that. And we have some fantastic Star Trek music, and maybe Elton John's Rocket Man. We're going to run at pig races. Wendy and I do a lot of the pig races, and so we're going to have a lot of fun with the Star Trek theme, and love to build the Starship Enterprise. I don't think I'll have time for that because we got to build the kitty barn first, but sure glad you came out to view us today. And before too long, I think we're going to have a really nice looking maze. All day long he does that. So he was down in Tennessee earlier, and they had so much rain down there. He called us and says, "How much rain did you get?" And we're like, "Oh, we had like a half an inch." He says, "Oh, good. I'm coming up where it's dry." And I'm not sure, but I know he has one up in Door County and a couple others maybe over towards Indiana and Ohio. I mean, this guy comes with a camper and his family and goes all across the United States with all of his kids, and this is his job. This is their life through this time of year. So interesting business that Sean has developed. A wonderful family. We really enjoy watching them, and it's just fascinating for us to watch the design taking shape. Their graphic designer is the one who works with us, emailing back and forth to come up with our design. And so now we get to finally see it being laid out.
Are you going to be doing any midday runs for the space at night? People, flashlights come out?
Oh, we're open till 11 p.m. every Friday and Saturday. Yeah, so we love the nighttime business. Very fun. Gently lighted through the grounds, so it's really nice. So, yes. And hope everybody can come out and visit because it's a wonderful time. RichardsonFarm.com is our web address, our website, and our Facebook page, Richardson Corn Maze. Going to have a lot of information, everything, and our e-newsletter should be coming out soon. It actually shows some of the earlier sketches of this design and shows how it was kind of built over the years. So if you haven't joined our newsletter, just go to richardsonfarm.com and sign up for our newsletter there. And within just a couple of weeks, you'll be getting that newsletter. It explains in depth how we designed this maze from the first very rough sketch that I made up through the design as it builds. And the last couple of designs were just moving to one checkpoint or two. So anyhow, hope to see you here. Thank you.